Stand by for audio. Got it.
It's 8 a.m., and you're tuned to Mississippi's #1 choice for non-stop sports. The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Where am I?
On the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
And good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I am your host, Bo Bounds, and the show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and PearlRiverResort.com. Big month. The 75th Choctaw Indian Fair, July 8th through the 12th. Diamond Year Celebration, which is super exciting. And we are excited to welcome in the Choctaw Indian Princess, Leilani Allen, to the show. And Leilani, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Did I get the name right?
Yes.
All right.
It's a great name.
So your nickname is Bo?
It is. Yep.
Tell me about that.
Well, my family used to call me Boo Boo, but my brother Malachi, he didn't know how to say Boo Boo. He said Bobo.
I love it.
Nice.
Yep. And then later it got shortened to just Bo.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's been like that ever since I was a baby.
Been like that. So how's everything been going?
It's been going good. I've been really busy trying to promote the fair and then trying to stay in a moment and stay in the presence of my reign while it lasts. Yeah.
Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, yes. Enjoyed is an understatement. I loved every second of it, but I'm pretty sad to see it go away in a few days.
Yeah. But there's still more time to celebrate.
There is, yes. With stickball, of course.
All right. Tell our listeners, stickball is an amazing game. And describe stickball to our listeners.
Stickball is what we call the granddaddy of all field sports. It's the oldest American field sport that's been played. And we play it in Choctaw, Mississippi, right here. And so stickball it's like lacrosse, but we have two sticks. Basically, the object of the game is to grab the ball with the two sticks and then aim it at a 4x4 12-foot pole. There are 60 players on the field, 30 players from each side. We have center, defense, and offense. And and it starts at the ages of 6. They can play the youngest.
That's awesome.
Yes, we've had an exhibition game last night, and it started. Yeah, exhibition game started last night, and they were over there playing, like little girls and boys. And then there's co-ed 14, 17, so boys hit the girls, and then there's a men and women's, and also a 35 and up.
All right. So 60 players on the field, 30 on each side, and started some exhibition games last night. And we're visiting with Leilani Allen on the Out of Bounds Show. And we have the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair, July 8th through the 12th. And every year, the Choctaw Indian Princess goes on a super cool media tour to promote the Choctaw Indian Fair. And we were lucky enough that Leilani joins us in studio this morning on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Okay, so you had exhibition last night.
Yes.
When does the real deal start? July 8th?
No, it starts now. Stickball would be played from July 1st all the way through the 12th. So exhibition games, and then there was a game too. The men's game started last night.
Okay, so it's game on.
Yes.
These games last. They can last and last and last.
Oh, yeah. There is, if it's overtime, there's no time limit during overtime.
Days.
So it can keep going until somebody scores.
Days.
And one time it went maybe an hour or longer after a game.
3 hours.
So we were out there till 1 a.m., almost 2 a.m.
You got to be in good shape.
Oh, yes. I know they were tired. Yeah.
Dude,
That's...
Man, I tell you, the guy that I met up there that was like he's their best stickballer, I guess.
Right.
In shape. Dude.
Ridiculous.
He's built like an ox. I mean, he's huge. He's just, you don't want any problems with that guy.
Yeah, if you're playing a 3 or 4 hour game.
You got to be in shape. But I mean, the physicality of the sport too. Like they get after it.
Wow.
They're hitting. Pretty dope. Remember we did the interview on we interviewed the film folks.
Yes,
and
who did the documentary
on stickball? Yeah,
yeah,
really,
and they did they did all the showings last year.
Yeah.
At Pearl River
That's
Resort.
right.
Yeah, those were
cool.
great. We're visiting with Leilani Allen on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And again, the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair is July 8th through the 12th. The stickball competition has started, and the princess is in studio. So, did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you would be the princess?
No, I thought it was too far out of my reach to even dream about it. So last year when it came about that maybe I could run, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could try it. We'll see how this goes.
Right.
And then I won. So I'm glad I did it. And there was thanks to those two women over there, my mom and my grandma, that I was able to do it.
Hey, Mom.
Gotta give them props.
Hey, Grandma. Yeah, you got to give them props, too.
Yeah, of course.
So when did you officially start after the fair last year? How did it go?
Well, yes. Right. I was crowned on opening ceremony. So the first day of the fair.
Okay.
And so the fair is like my first duty.
Okay.
And it'll be going like this until the fair actually starts on July 8th.
July 8th. So the 4th is on Friday. So what is that, Tuesday?
Well, the pageant is on July 9th. Yes.
Okay.
Now, did I need to be in attendance for the pageant to be the prince, or is that just not that the prince doesn't get named there? That's a no-go. Okay.
Well, you can come on down.
That's what I'll do. I'll show up as the prince, and then I can just do that. All right.
How many stickball games do you think you'll watch?
Ooh. There's about maybe 5 games per day.
Dang.
Okay.
So.
Usually when do they start playing?
5 o'clock. The kids start at 5 o'clock.
And then the adults?
Yes, the men's are always the last one to play.
Okay.
But the women, too. That's something to watch, too.
Oh, I saw some of the video. I mean, they're amazing athletes, too.
Oh, yes. There's a really good game tonight against Boktido and Natives that you have to watch.
Okay.
It's always live streamed as well.
You told me that last year that they do all the live streams for all the stickball
it's really cool
games.
Yes.
That's cool.
Definitely something to watch.
All right. So, Leilani, hold on. I got to get this right. Leilani Allen. Leilani Allen is with us on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And again, we're promoting the 2025 Choctaw Indian Fair, 75th, July 8th through the 12th. And the Choctaw Indian Princess is with us on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Y'all going to have some great food too?
Of course. We have our traditional food as well as other food vendors out there as well. So, yeah, you should come on down, try some food.
Big picnic, big party, unbelievable stickball competition and games. Does it get any better?
Entertainment lineup.
Entertainment. I know. I'm looking
at heater lineup.
Heater. What all's going on the next week? Plus
arts and crafts too, our traditional dances, our culture too as well. Yeah, everything all big, all exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, the arts and crafts is impressive.
They put on, man.
Yeah, put on a great show. Well, all right, as we wrap it up, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience as far as what's going on the next week or so, or your experience as the princess?
Well, as the princess, it's a very busy week, but it's also really exciting because I get to crown the 70th Choctaw Indian Princess.
No, I can't run for that, though, right?
No, you're out.
Okay, just make sure.
So when will you do that?
I will do it July 9th on Wednesday.
Okay. Nice. July 9th on Wednesday, you will crown the next princess.
Yes, I will.
All right. And so this is the Diamond Year celebration of the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair. Nightly concerts, stickball games left and right, arts and crafts, live music, and midway rides, among other things going on. This is going to be an amazing celebration. Thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with us today. Leilani Allen, the Choctaw Indian Princess, and promoting the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair, which is July 8th through the 12th. And we appreciate also Mom and Grandmom for coming in today. It's going to be an awesome week and a half. We'll be back in a second. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds show. We appreciate Leilani Allen, the Choctaw Indian Princess, joining us in studio to promote the 75th Choctaw Indian Fair, July 8th through the 12th. Diamond Year Celebration, nightly concerts, and Princess Leilani is giving up her crown and will crown the 70th Choctaw Indian Princess. Live music, experience, Choctaw art, food, and social dancing. Obviously, big-time stickball competition. And it's like lacrosse with no helmets or protection. Hard-hitting, exciting action. 60 players on the field, trying to catch a golf ball-sized stickball with 2 sticks with the aim of scoring a goal.
How they do it.
That's, yeah, you got to be skilled. So we appreciate Leilani Allen coming in to the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows with you. Let's go to the Golden Moon Casino text line. And War Eagle Rich did a great job here. He did SEC coaches as 4th of July food.
Love that.
Kalen DeBoer, wings. That's one of the better. I mean, we've established that wings, ribs, and brisket is like the holy grail. I mean, there's others if y'all are doing like beef tenderloins and things like that. So Kalen DeBoer is wings, which is strong. Lane Kiffin, hot dog. That's funny. I think that's a shot. Shane Beamer, pulled pork. Okay. Hugh Freeze, deviled eggs.
I like that.
Hugh Freeze, deviled eggs. Okay.
Good, but not really
Kirby
good.
Smart, brisket. Again, one of the top 3. Okay. Fair enough. Mark Stoops is potato salad.
Nailed it.
Oh, my God. War Eagle Rich, this is good. Brian Kelly is, this is even worse than potato. Creamy fruit salad.
Oh, why is that a thing?
That is like a stomach ache from, man. Brian Kelly, he paired up Brian Kelly with creamy fruit salad. All right. Drinkwitz from Missouri, corn on the cob. Okay. Clark Lee Motors at Vanderbilt is baked beans. Wow.
Shot.
Wasn't sure if Levy would end up getting that, but he went with Clark Lee. Josh Heupel gets ribs, one of the top 3. So basically, according to War Eagle Rich, from what I'm picking up here, the top 3 coaches, according to him, they get paired with the best stuff are Kalen DeBoer, Kirby Smart, and Josh Heupel. We'll see what Sark is. All right. Oh, he doesn't have Sark on here. Let's keep going. Heupel is ribs. Napier is some kind of cobbler. All right, well, so I like blackberry cobbler and blueberry cobbler.
You don't like peach?
I'm not really a big fan of that.
South,
I don't like like it. I mean, I've had it. Of course, I don't really go to.
Well, do you like peaches?
Country buffet. They're okay. It's not something that I eat a whole lot of.
Nah, I like a good.
Wendy buys plums.
Love plums,
and so I do eat some of those, and I also drop them in my Tito's or my Volteo. It makes for a good boat drink. I usually go with the baby oranges, but whatever. Where am I going here?
Clementines.
All right.
Is that what it's called? Clementine? The baby oranges? Or is that just a whole separate fruit?
I don't know. There's another name that I would have been able to come up with, but you just messed me up.
Nice.
Mike Elko is deer sausage. I mean, that's good. I think deer sausage is one of the, it's not wings, brisket, or ribs, but it's up there.
Yeah. Because
deer sausage is freaking amazing. I eat a lot of it. Probably, I don't know if it's totally filled with sodium, but anyway.
Fill it up.
And then he says, Levy, he would be the drinks no one would trust him to cook. Okay. So anything jumping, let's go over that real quick. SEC coaches as 4th of July food. Kalen DeBoer, wings. I love wings. Lane Kiffin, hot dog. Not a big fan. but Kiffin's a great cook. But I think War Eagle Rich may be taking a little shot here at Lane Train. Shane Beamer's pulled pork. Pulled pork is more than solid.
Yeah.
I mean, because good pulled pork is great. Hugh Freeze's deviled eggs. When done well, like Older Brother Bistro or the way my mom makes them, they're great. Other people mess them up. Kirby Smart's brisket. I mean, you get a brisket from Derek Emerson or Wally Cummins or Jeff Jones or Kendall Collins, you're in heaven. Les Penn is a freak at cooking. Many more. Ribs, that's later. All right. Kirby Smart is brisket, which means he's one of the better foods. Mark Stoops is potato salad, which should tell you that he's probably not going to make it at Kentucky. Brian Kelly is creamy fruit salad. I'm not sure there's anything worse.
That's funny. I don't even know.
I don't even know why. It's like giving somebody a fruit cake at Christmas. I mean, the stuff's not even good.
Why are you?
That tells me that you don't like me. Like, you can just not say anything and not send me anything. Here, I hate you. Here's some fruit salad for Christmas. Fruit cake for Christmas.
If you go out of your way,
it's hard, stale, and not even good when it's fresh.
No.
Okay.
Has it ever been good?
No.
Like, there was
creamy fruit salad. That was for people who had nothing else to eat and were about to die.
Or maybe dentures.
Right. That's what they give you when you're 92 and they just throw some fruit salad in your room and you're toast.
Oh, I did.
I would rather just pour me some bourbon and let me sip on some bourbon and just have like a piece of bread or something. I don't know.
I'd rather just eat the fruit regular.
Where was I?
Cream fruit.
Clark Lee with Vanderbilt. Most of y'all don't even know who he is, even though Diego Pavia took them to a bowl game last year. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt, baked bean. And see, Vandy doesn't play Ole Miss anymore, so we used to talk about him more. But then they got Diego Pavia, and they got good last year.
We talked about him more.
And Diego Pavia is Hugh Freeze's daddy. Josh Heupel's ribs. It doesn't. Scott Bates cooks great ribs. Other people around. I'm solid at ribs. I've worked on it over the years, but there are guys who are freaks at ribs. And I can get that. I can get the gourmet guru at 225, and I can do all that. Wendy and the kids think they're good, but I know that I'm not doing them at the level of
just missing something.
Something's going on. But I think they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I'm not like elite neighborhood pitmaster. I'm not that guy.
Well.
So anyway.
That's not you, though.
Billy Napier, some kind of cobbler. We talked about. I love a blackberry cobbler. My goodness.
Strong.
Oh, goodness. Mike Elko's deer sausage. That's good. Levy, he would be the drinks no one would trust him to cook. Okay. He left out Sark. Was there anybody else he left out? Pittman. He left out Sark, but he still did a great job.
Oh, I agree.
Okay.
He crushed it.
Hugh Freeze's macaroni salad. This is from another listener.
Okay.
Hugh Freeze's macaroni salad. I don't want macaroni. I like the way that Two Brothers does mac and cheese is elite. Okay?
Yeah. But I mean, who else is doing it like that?
I mean, big time. This RT says the Florida coach is fried squirrel. I'll be honest, I've never had fried squirrel. We'll ask Todd Sandridge if he's had fried squirrel.
A fried grasshopper.
I haven't had a fried grasshopper either.
They're good.
You haven't had a fried What
Dude,
are you talking about today?
Absolutely.
You're off a little bit today.
Come on, man.
I don't know what happened to
so
you.
good.
I don't even know what's going on. Superior Foundation. French drains, foundation repairs. Call Todd Sandridge today. Superior.ms. All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Summer celebration continues. Your text here on 4th of July food are great, and I appreciate it. Y'all keep them coming in. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. We've got elite food. It's brisket, ribs, and wings. That's the elite food. Y'all know that I don't like potato salad and I don't like baked beans. I just can't. I'll eat baked potato salad, especially if it's mustard based.
Yeah,
don't like a lot of mayonnaise. I don't like a lot of mayonnaise. And then baked beans, have I eaten them a million times just because I live in the South? Yes. I've been to a million cookouts like all of us, or the ball fields or whatever. But we do have a lot of you that agree that, potato salad's really not that good. It's just a filling thing that you see at a cookout. But look, ribs, wings, brisket is the elite food of 4th of July. We want to welcome in our friend Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation and Crosstown Builders. And he and Trey Pace have been together. Todd Sandridge, how long have y'all been partners?
I looked at that the other day. I think it was since 06. So 19
Are you serious?
Years. Yeah.
Almost 20 years?
Almost 20 years. Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a really good partnership. We were both in business for ourselves previous to that, and this just really worked. It works, and as everybody knows, partnerships are hard. So we've been blessed with a good run.
No question. Now, when did y'all were building for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all done unbelievable homes, but you've also done commercial like Rick's Pro Truck.
Yeah.
But then y'all started Superior Foundation a few years into Crosstown Builders.
We did. We just saw a need, Bo. When we were doing some renovations, things like that, we would call some of these foundation companies in town, and frankly, sometimes we would know a little bit more than they would about, the footings or what kind of reinforcement was in there. And it kind of shocked us, how we were dealt with, things like that. And we finally just talked to each other, said, man, we can do this better. And
sure.
I think there's a huge need. And I think, it was a need-based demand.
Well, with where we live,
yeah,
and Yazoo Clay and everything else, whether you're in Belhaven or Madison, it's a challenge.
I mean, and lately we've been all over those areas. I mean, it's funny. I mean, we were in Belhaven yesterday. We were doing 2 jobs. We've been in deep into Brandon this week already, and it's only Wednesday. We've done 2 in Madison. A lot of drains. As last night we got probably 2.5 inches of rain. I know I did. I don't know what you got at your house.
We got smoked with that storm, and it just hovered over us. It stopped.
Mm-hmm. It just stopped there. I was actually coming down 49, meeting with some clients, and I was trying to get home. At 6 o'clock, and it was just coming down. It just stood there.
Yeah. Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation. He and Trey Pace, superior.ms. So French drains, foundation repairs, but y'all do driveways. I mean, y'all have done them for banks. Mm-hmm. You can do stuff where if somebody needs to do it over the weekend so that they're open at retail Monday through Friday, whether it's a fast food drive-through, restaurant, banks, y'all can go in and fix it.
Absolutely.
And get in and out in a couple of days.
We've got a contract with one of the big car wash companies here in town, and we do that all the time. Do a lot of that on the weekends, at nights, things like that. But yeah, I mean, concrete repair is a big one. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, you see cracks in your concrete a lot, and people freak out. I'm like, hey, don't freak out. In Mississippi, it's kind of our weather. It's either really, really hot or it's really cold, and we don't have a lot of in between. Well, that's how concrete cures. It either cures too fast or it cures too slow, and that's where you get those little spider cracks.
That makes sense.
It's not a big deal. It's just really a surface crack, but then you get the real deep cracks when water gets up under concrete, and that's usually what we have to fix.
And y'all do new construction foundations, too.
We do a lot of
I mean, you'll go into a home, too, and fix it.
We do.
And you come with a warranty.
That's right.
And it doesn't take 3 weeks to get a quote.
That's right.
You can get it back in 48, 72 hours.
Honestly, we have been really, really good lately about turning them around within 24 hours of a quote. And only because I know, there's a lot of things that need that attention right then. It could be a realtor who's trying to get this house repaired, to get it on the market, and or to get it sold. And they don't have time to wait 3 or 4 days, or with some of our competitors, 3 and 4 weeks to get a quote. So we usually try to get somebody out there within a few days, but once we're out there, we try to get them a quote within 24 hours.
Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation, on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. All right, I got to switch gears. Let's talk about your sweet family. You're going in 14 different directions. Tell me, because we've all lived it, ball fields and dance and everything else. So tell me what everybody's doing.
So my oldest, Isabel, just graduated from Ole Miss.
Awesome.
And,
congratulations to her.
Super happy about that. Super happy to get her off the payroll. You're a year away from one of those. And we are super excited. She's going to stay in Oxford. She's going to teach up there.
That's great.
She was called to teach, and since she was in kindergarten, she was that little girl. I want to be a teacher, and she just kind of never left her. Selah will be a senior at MRA this year. Awesome. And she is already started school volleyball, and they're going to try to defend that state championship this year.
They were the MAIS state champs.
They were. And,
that's awesome.
And so
how much fun was that to go through that?
That was more fun, and watching them grow as a team. And I mean, she's played MRA volleyball since the 6th grade or 7th grade. But just watching that team, she's played varsity since 9th, and to see how they all came together and kind of took down Goliath last year, which was a big deal. And I think they're primed to defend it this year.
The talent in this state, volleyball wise, has done this.
Oh, it's incredible. And that's South Mississippi, North Mississippi. And Bo, I think you're just going to hear more and more about it. I think you'll start talking about that kind of stuff on your show because the excitement level. Look, I mean, Ole Miss is really coming on in volleyball. Yeah. State's starting to come on a little bit, and Southern Miss. Jenny Hazelwood, who's a local girl, married a local guy. She's coaching down there.
Mississippi State.
But look, Marcus at Jackson State, he's a fantastic head coach. He just took over last year.
Good.
They're doing well in the HBCU group. But here's the cool thing is just about every single JUCO here in Mississippi has got volleyball now.
Good.
And so
more opportunities.
It's super exciting. And if you see how they lay out, they actually have to keep out of approximately 18 kids, they got to keep 13 of those that have to be in state. So now you've got all those JUCOs fighting for the better in-state talent too, that are not going to larger. So, and we're kind of in that circuit right now with Selah, and she is, kind of on the recruiting trail, and
good.
So that's been exciting too. So we're hoping for a repeat this year. That'll be fun.
State champs in volleyball, and then you got Kane.
And all right, Kane is he is actually going to prep next year, and so we're going to be putting on 2 different hats for the first time in a long time, but he's super excited. He's been already started football and with Coach Goodwin and his staff, and really fun. He's had a good time with them, and then made the baseball team with Coach Evaner and their staff, and so he's super excited about getting started this year. So we're going to be running at both ends, man. You're
going to be going to like 600 sporting events this year.
I usually do anyway. We've been all over, with baseball and volleyball and things like that.
Because I texted you last week. Yep. You were in Atlanta.
I was in Atlanta with baseball. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And this weekend we'll be on the Gulf Coast and in Hattiesburg at USM for baseball. So, and then Elizabeth was in Orlando last weekend. While I was in Atlanta, she was in Orlando with volleyball.
So it's the Todd and Elizabeth Sandridge World Tour.
It is the World Tour, and then I guess we'll be doing that for 3 more years, and then Selah plays in college.
But you're loving it. You know that it's going to end, and so you're all in.
I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Absolutely.
Man. I mean, there'll be times where I start fishing again and get out on my boat at night, but Todd's it's not going to be now.
I haven't seen my boat in 9 months, and it may be another 12 to 24.
Yeah. It needs to be cleaned bad.
Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation, on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Somebody's going to have to, since Todd knows everybody, somebody's going to have to cook Todd and Elizabeth some ribs and wings, because they're going to Bryce Chance's wedding, starting outfielder for Mississippi State, went to MRA.
Yep.
And they've got all kinds of sports tournaments this weekend. So
we need ribs and wings. It's actually our favorite food.
Me too.
That's why I married my wife, because she loves ribs and wings. I mean, she's the perfect wife.
Yeah. We were talking about, when you and I were growing up, we didn't have green eggs. We had a Weber grill.
That's it.
And I still have one, but I have a gas grill, and now I have a gourmet an egg.
Oh yeah.
But isn't it funny when you and I were growing up? You just had a charcoal grill. That's what
you laugh at my setup at my house, Bo, and I've been to yours, and I need to have you over. But at the end of the day, I've got the pellet grill, I've got the gas grill, so Elizabeth can use it if I'm not home and she needs to throw some chicken on it.
Right.
And I've got the flat iron cooker. I've got all these things, and you know what I use the most? The 22-inch Weber.
I still cook on my $100 Weber that I've had for 13 years.
Well, Kane looked at me one day and he goes, I really like the food that we make at the deer camp. I was like, that's a 22-inch Weber. Let's go get one. And we'll, and that's what I use the most at the house. Of all those grills I've got,
I know.
That's what I use. And I love it.
But the egg boom, it was like, we were talking about the first guys that got the egg.
Oh, yeah.
They had to break it down for you.
I was one of those. and I just got to where I'm ADD.
Right.
And a big green egg or a Kamado Joe, whatever your choice is not good for ADD people because it takes way too long.
Throw me in there.
So I'm too ADD, but I do love charcoal. So, the
too.
Weber, man, I can get that thing going in about 5 minutes.
I finally started cooking ribs. All my buddies had cooked ribs, and they get it perfect at 225, and you got to do all this. I was late getting an egg.
Yep.
But then we got one downstairs and one at the house. And like you mentioned the Blackstone, I've got one of those in Starkville. That thing's really cool, but I haven't done as much on it as I need to. But it took me a minute on the egg to get ribs exactly like I wanted it.
It's hard to control that temp, and if you've got the what is that called, the little thing that kind of flushes air in there when you can hold the temp.
Yeah.
That's good. I had one of those on mine, but when the pellet's pretty awesome. You can set that.
I have buddies who love their pellet grill.
It's only because it's easy, because you can set it at 225, you can put them on, and you can be done.
That's what I need.
And that's the hard part about the egg is, you're just babysitting it all day. And again, the ADD guys, it's no fun.
Cooking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're heating something up.
So Todd Sandridge agrees with us. We've got brisket, ribs, wings as the elite food for the 4th of July.
How would you rank them?
I would probably throw pulled pork in there too, but I know y'all mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know who was pulled pork, but
well, we matched up
Beamer?
some of the. Let's see who was pulled pork.
Beamer,
yeah. Shane Beamer was pulled pork. Lane Kiffin was a hot dog, which I think that's just an Auburn fan taking a shot.
That's a shot.
And Kalen DeBoer was wings. Kirby Smart was brisket. I mean, this was pretty good.
Yeah,
Creamy fruit salad, which I'm not going to touch, was Brian Kelly. So I think that's another shot at LSU.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the corn on the cob thing with Drinkwitz.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like corn on the cob.
Teeth? I don't know.
I like corn on the cob.
I do too.
I like Drinkwitz though.
I ate some corn on the cob a couple of weeks ago from Mudbugs because throw it in that crawfish and it was game on.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's. I didn't hit new construction as much as I wanted. Y'all built my boathouse and y'all did those new pilings or whatever you talk about. So with Superior, y'all don't just go into existing houses and fix their foundation. You do new construction. Explain that to our listeners.
I mean, it's a big part of our business too. You can't get away from weathered clay. That's what we have here. We don't have bedrock. That's the odd thing about people understanding why do we have so many foundation problems. It's really the geology side of it. We don't have bedrock. So you're going into your load-bearing strata is really it's a blue clay. It's an unweathered clay. If you pull it out of the ground, it's really cool, Bo. You can mold out of it, and it'll be a rock in about 6 hours. But with that, we need to get down to that blue clay. So the cool thing about new construction, and even I'm about to do one here in Madison. It's an addition and an extra garage, and we're going to throw them in there because there's already bad soil there. So we can put those in an addition where you can't get a big track hoe and a dump truck and all that to bring in dirt work and try to excavate 7 foot of fill and things like that, which honestly, you're disturbing the clay even more at that. And you're creating kind of a fishbowl effect where water can get in there. It's non-permeable clay to get out. And that's usually what rocks it. So our engineers almost sometimes here, they counteract themselves in the sense that they say, you got to go out there and excavate and dig out a big swimming pool, essentially, where water can't get out when it gets in. So the issue, the nice thing is you can just put like a 2-foot pad. We can throw those helicals down in the footing.
Helicals,
helical piers, and they sit in the footing. So we stick them out with a big plate on them and 1 foot out of the footing, and we pour right on top of it.
Okay.
So if you're looking for that air, just ironclad, airtight method, and you're doing either an addition onto your place or a new construction, you really want to do helicals.
Helical. That is a cool name.
Yeah,
also.
helical piers, and those are it's fun to watch. We put them in with a big track hoe and or a skid steer with a boom on it. But we're doing a lot of that, and we're doing a lot of that in combination with doing the post-tension cables and just forming finishing too. And you can use those. We do put those on an application, like if we're trying to repair something that may be sliding, because you get a lot of slide effect, right? If you're on a hill or something like that, you get a lot of cracks, but maybe the elevation changes aren't too much difference. We can put those at an angle, and we can hook them to the foundation where it'll keep it from sliding too. So, and even on new construction, we'll actually install them at an angle. So that you're keeping it from moving up and down. But the lateral movement, a lot of people don't get, but we'll go in and shoot an elevation reading on a house and it's all cracked up, but it may not be off, but about an inch and a half. Well, you're like, okay, what's going on? Well, it's sliding. So, you've got, it's almost like having cleats on. I explained that, where, those footing, are kind of like cleats. And so when that soil moves or if water's going under it and it's pulling downhill, it's going to pull those cleats, right? So that's kind of what it does. So we can stop that by putting those helicals on an angle. So they're really a big part of what we do.
Helical
piers.
That's cool. Superior Foundation, superior.ms, Todd Sandridge and Trey Pace. You're about 15 years into this, aren't you? I know Crosstown's much older.
We're pretty close. We've been doing foundations for a good while now. And honestly, it's pretty much all we do. We don't do a whole lot of new construction anymore. We do a good bit of developing still and have fun doing that. We've got some stuff in Madison. We've got some stuff in Oxford. We've got some stuff in Starkville that we enjoy doing. But I'm going to tell you, we're doing foundation work all over the state right now, and it is keeping us slam busy. It is.
Superior.ms. So it was a good move for you and Trey to open up Superior Foundation.
It was, and I think after you do something for 26 years, it kind of you get tired a little bit, and you need a new challenge. And as Superior grew, we kind of started it. We didn't franchise it or anything like that, so it was a more organic start. But over the years, it got to be where we had to pick. Man, it was just so much going on, and we enjoy it, and really, we're repairing some really cool things right now, Bo. For the first time I've ever we're repairing 52 unit apartment complex in Jackson, and it's a conventional foundation. So, we do a lot of conventional foundation work too, which, there's not a ton of here in Jackson. There's a lot you mentioned Belhaven earlier, the Belhaven Millsaps area, a lot in Jackson, and there's some in Flowood, Brandon, Pearl, Madison, but not very many. But I've never come across an apartment complex that was. And so I asked, and it was built like 75 years ago, and it was a base, an Army base. I had no idea that was here. It's off of Raymond Road. And so the cool thing is we've gone in there, and we're actually contracting under a company out of Arizona who got the bid for, and I'm sure it's a private equity group that owns all these apartment complexes. So we're doing 2 in Jackson for them, and then 1 in West Point. We're about to do work on an apartment complex for them too. So we're doing some really, really fun and cool work too.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It was an Army base?
It was, and I don't know if it was actually a base or if it was just a housing unit for that. Yeah.
So they actually had the base, and so it was out on Raymond Road at Southwest Jackson, and Butts Park is where they did all their training and whatnot. If you can still go back there today and see all the river basins that were put in, like the model river basins.
Oh, nice!
It's really cool.
Yeah. So I had no idea.
Really, really.
Me
cool.
neither.
And I guess that's where they housed them. But the weird thing is that it was built conventional, which is odd to me. Even at that time, typically they would be on a monolithic slab.
Yeah.
But
it was for the war. It was for the Vicksburg deal.
Okay.
That's so a lot of they were here and would go, and that's where they fought the war.
Good.
So they're old, but they've held up pretty good. But we're doing a lot of work on those, and then they've got another one here in Jackson, very similar. Although some of those are on slabs, and then like I said, this company out of Arizona somehow has got this contract with this group, and so we're doing one in West Point too, coming up I think in August. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation. So you do new construction and, of course, existing buildings and homes and add-ons, and then you get into the whole driveways and
Oh yeah,
so,
and look, French drains. They're probably, I would say, one of the biggest parts of our business, particularly right now.
No
with
doubt.
everything. And what people really need to do is call us on that if they've got any drainage issues, because you may not have foundation problems now, and this is not a sales tactic. I assure you, it is all because of water. And the first thing we do when we get there, if you've got problems, is we got to determine what it is, and it's either drainage, or you might have a sewer or water leak underneath. All right. And we determine that really quick up front, because we don't just want to fix it. We want to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right.
So French drains are huge, and getting your gutter water and taking it out, and most neighborhoods and areas have storm drains and things like that. We can take it to, but it is a really big portion of our business.
So Superior Foundation, French drains, we need to make sure that people know that too.
Yeah, definitely call us on that. And I mean, it's such a preventative maintenance thing. There's so many people that are so scared of foundation problems, but frankly, if you'll just get your drainage right, you may not have to call us on that. And we're really good at it. I mean, we are probably doing 5 or 6 drains a week right now in conjunction with new construction, helical piers. We're doing those, along with repair. We're ripping out a driveway off of Sheffield and over by JA right now because of water getting under it, so, yep. I mean, it's all because of water. So really, if you'll do that preventative maintenance work, and it's a whole lot cheaper to do a French drain than it is to repair a house.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So Superior Foundation, French drains, superior.ms, and the number
601-941-2125. And just call and just look, we give free estimates, so just call us up and go, hey, come take a look at it.
And your work comes with a warranty.
Always comes with a warranty. And, if we're repairing a foundation, it comes with a lifetime warranty. And we're not like a lot of the guys that, they can't ever find the paperwork after, or they don't return the call.
No, y'all run a real deal business.
Yeah. I mean, it is the reason we're in that business, because of that, because they could never find the records, and they could all of our records are in the cloud. It's all under your address. So our warranty is not in your name, Bo Bounds. It's under your address. So, that's the key. It's transferable for life of that house. So you could be the third owner and call in knowing we did the work, call in, say, this is the address, and we pull that paperwork up. We have everything we've done. We have pre-lift measurements, post-lift measurements, all those things. So we really try to, dot our I's and cross our T's on that.
It wasn't a piece of paper that flew out of the back of a pickup truck for years before.
I can't tell you how many other companies' stuff we warranty now. We've picked it up, we've gone in and checked it and warranty it, because they can't even find the paperwork of what they did, or they won't call them back. And the funny thing is just the fact that if you call us and we call you right back and we handle it, or we go out and maybe you go, maybe it's moving again, and we go out there and throw a level on it and it's not, you're happy. That gets us so much more business. So I don't understand why they don't do that.
Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation, superior.ms. French drains, foundation repairs, obviously new construction, and existing both commercial and residential. Superior Foundation, superior.ms. Happy 4th of July to you and your family.
Happy 4th of July, man. You too. I hope y'all have a good time.
We got to do this more
often.
We
need to.
Be good.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m. and this ain't no kiddie show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
All aboard!
As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Brought to you by Superior Foundation. If you need French drains, superior.ms. Appreciate Todd Sandridge coming in, hanging out with us. He's got a busy schedule between volleyball, baseball, and football with 2 kids in high school. That's a lot of ball fields or courts. Man, volleyball is a fast growing sport. So that was fun. Thanks to Todd Sandridge, Superior Foundation. If you need French drains, superior.ms. They do a great job. And we highly recommend their work from Superior Foundation. A couple of different ways that you can get in touch with us. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Twitter X at Bo Bounds. And the Bud Light caller line is 601-707-3750. Ice cold Bud Light and wings for the win. Jackson Meadows, how you doing?
Man, good.
We have a text here that said, I worked one summer with a foundation company. That work will make you a man.
Yeah.
I'm confident in that. Todd Sanders, Trey Pace doing a great job. French drains, call Superior Foundation, superior.ms. Brooks Bryan, who is a friend of, we're all 3 friends, Todd and mine, texted us and given us a hard time. It's the Brooks Bryan that played baseball at Mississippi State, 97-98 College World Series. I love doing this to him. It's not the Brooks Bryant that we had on that kind of became a social media star for a minute when he ate the 9 hot dogs at the a hot dog an inning at the Mississippi State game so that they get back on a winning streak a couple of years ago. And of course we've had Brooks Bryan with an N, who Mississippi State baseball player, again, 97-98. But we've also had Brooks Bryant on the show. We had him on. I saw the video that night of him at Duty Noble eating one of the hot dogs, and he ate a hot dog an inning. Yeah. And he also lived with Stone Simmons and somebody else. I can't remember who. And so it's funny as hell. Well, he was a PGM. He kind of pulled a Jackson Meadows. He was a PGM major, and professional golf management is an unbelievable major at Mississippi State. 99% of the students in it are from out of state, and they go all over the country to run golf courses. And think about the top 10 golf courses in the country. Mississippi State PGM and or Turf Grass has had their hands on it or managing it or so on. Well, you have to be a scratch golfer. And when I asked, he's from Georgia, Brooks Bryant. When I asked him how he got in the PGM program at Mississippi State, he said he lied. He said, I lied about my handicap.
Attaboy.
And he said he was an 8 handicap, which is still good.
Yeah, right.
But he played so much golf that he's now a scratch golfer. Nice. Well, we also had him on. He went out to, where was it? Big Sky, Montana. He did an internship at that beautiful resort out there. And Tom Brady and Justin Timberlake go through there in the summer, and so do other, entrepreneurs and CEOs and celebrities. And he was telling some great stories. So my point in all that is Brooks Bryan is giving Todd and I a hard time about being ADD and the whole green egg thing. But now I'm actually proud of myself that I've cooked on that thing probably because I had a couple of friends that were like, "You'll never cook on that."
On the egg. I would have said the same to you.
And I got into it.
That's fair.
And I probably cooked on it close to 100 times.
Yeah.
But I have gone back to the charcoal Weber and the gas grill.
The OG.
Now, funny what Todd Sandridge was talking about, his wife Elizabeth, and the gas grill. Wendy tackled that later in life too, because for a female, they can just go out there and flip it on. And there were times, you go through this time in life where you got to, I don't know what we were doing. You had to like cook a bunch of pork tenderloins for the kids or a team or something. And so I can remember Wendy's first time she cooked like Jackson. It was like a dozen pork tenderloins on the gas grill. I mean, not all at once, but she was rotating. Right. She did a great job. And she was like, I don't know if I can do it. And so it was in the morning. I was here. We were going back and forth, and she did an awesome job there. I actually have friends, a couple of my friends, their wife cooks more on the grill than they do. But the gas grill makes it to where you can just throw some. You could even work it.
Yeah.
Like you're more ADD than Todd and I.
That's fact.
Because I can't. I mean, you've got 14 different things going on.
Yeah.
At a time. Yeah. And so I actually think you may make Todd and I look non-ADD. I've tried to work on it, though.
Yeah, you've run a close. You ran a
True
close
brain
second for a while back. If you ran back a few years, you ran a close second. You were right beside me.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But to have these options is fun.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You've got the eggs, which are amazing. I know we're having fun with Egg Guy that breaks down all his accessories, and that's awesome. Look, you've got an ice cold Michelob Ultra. You're off for a day or two or three, and if your neighbor wants to break down his latest, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm great with that.
But they are eggheads.
Yeah, I mean it's eggs, CrossFit, and what was the other one we said? There was similarities between. Oh gosh, I said it earlier in the show. We'll think about it.
Yeti. We were talking about Yetis.
Yetis. Yeah, first guy to get the Yeti.
God.
First guy to get an egg in the neighborhood, because everybody had to go over there to check it out, and then CrossFit. Which I've never done CrossFit. Now, Steven Soller at Burgers Blues Barbecue, B3, super dude, 3 great restaurants. Talking about some brisket and his ribs. I tell him all the time, he's like, Bo, we can only promote so much. I'm like, your ribs are underrated. Like, most people don't even know how good they are.
That brisket's fire.
Yeah, they do the brisket for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. So you can get brisket and scrambled eggs, brisket at lunch, brisket at dinner. At B3 Burgers Blues Barbecue. My point in all this is, the first dude to get the egg in the neighborhood, that was a magnet.
Oh,
that was a cold beer or an Elijah Craig bourbon on the rocks, and you got 4 dudes around the egg, and one guy's breaking it down because he's the first one to get it and get control of it.
Right.
And then the next guy has to get one. And then it's just, right? It's like golf carts. The guy that gets the golf cart in the neighborhood, but he's got it specialized.
Yes.
And then the next, so he got his either Ole Miss or Mississippi State, and he got it lifted a little bit. He's got, I don't know, some turtle boxes in it from Raggio Mercantile Shop, whatever's going on. He's got all this stuff going on. Then so he holds court, and then the next guy gets the golf cart, but he gets a little bit different, customized, specialized deal.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's a big rotating circle.
It
just happens with every item.
Yeah. I agree. Now, Yeti Guy, I think we could do a whole hour on that, but I don't have time today. If y'all have got a good story on Green Egg Guy or Yeti Guy, come on. Dancing Rabbit Golf text line, 601-885-3776. Or if you were that guy and you kind of want to, take a couple of shots at yourself in a fun way, do that. Happy Red, White, and Blue Week. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by the Brisket at Burgers Blues Barbecue in Dogwood, Flowwood.